Ngozi stood nervously at the gates of Glory Heights Secondary School, clutching her bag tightly as students streamed past her, chatting and laughing. It was her first day at this new school, and though she was excited, she couldn't shake the sense of not belonging. Raised in a strict Christian household, where her preacher father had laid down rules about boys and friends, the bustling life around her felt foreign and overwhelming. She pulled her navy blue skirt down slightly, adjusting her white blouse, feeling as if everyone's eyes were on her. Meanwhile, Femi leaned lazily against the wall of the school corridor, surrounded by a group of friends. His shirt was untucked, and his tie was loosened, giving him the carefree look of someone who never took anything seriously. Known for his charming grin and reputation as the school's notorious playboy, Femi was used to getting attention, except, it seemed, from the new girl. As Ngozi walked past him, eyes down, Femi noticed her. Something about her quiet demeanor intrigued him. His friends nudged him, laughing, urging him to make a move, and Femi smirked, already planning his next conquest. The next day, in the chaos of the hallway between classes, Ngozi collided with Femi. Her books scattered across the floor, and she dropped to her knees, embarrassed. Femi knelt to help her, his smirk softening as their hands briefly touched while gathering the fallen books. "Sorry about that," he said smoothly, handing her the last book. Ngozi mumbled a quick thank you and hurried away, but Femi's gaze lingered on her retreating figure. It was the first time someone hadn't flirted back, and that only made him more curious. During lunch, Ngozi sat alone in a corner of the schoolyard, her food untouched as she read a book. Femi, spotting her from afar, decided to approach. With his usual playful grin, he slid into the seat across from her, nudging her tray of food toward her. "You don't talk much, do you?" he asked, amused. Ngozi raised her eyebrows, surprised by his sudden friendliness, but after a few minutes of conversation, she found herself smiling. Despite her reservations, she felt comfortable in his presence, and her laughter came easier than she expected. Unbeknownst to Ngozi, Femi's friends had made a bet whether he could win her heart within a month. Femi had accepted the challenge, confident in his ability to charm anyone. As they whispered about the bet in a corner of the classroom, Femi kept glancing toward Ngozi, who sat at the front, diligently taking notes. Though his intentions began with mischief, he couldn't deny that the more he talked to her, the more he genuinely liked her. Their interactions became more frequent. In the cafeteria, they shared meals. On the school field, they laughed over little things. As their friendship deepened, so did their conversations. Ngozi found herself opening up to him in ways she hadn't with anyone else, and Femi discovered that there was more to her than her quiet demeanor. But the budding connection came with guilt. Ngozi often stayed up late at night, sitting at her desk with her Bible open, wondering if she was compromising her faith by spending so much time with someone like Femi. Femi, on the other hand, faced pressures of his own. One evening, his father confronted him in their luxurious living room, reminding him of the importance of maintaining good grades. Femi's father had little patience for his son's carefree lifestyle, and though Femi was frustrated by the constant pressure, the thought of Ngozi waiting for him at school made things a bit more bearable. One afternoon, Ngozi confided in her closest friend, Ada. Sitting together on Ngozi's porch, Ada warned her about Femi's reputation, urging her to be careful. "He's not someone you can trust easily," Ada said, but Ngozi felt torn. Femi made her feel special in ways she hadn't expected, and she didn't want to let him go so easily. However, the school corridors buzzed with rumors about Femi's past. As Ngozi walked through the hallways, she overheard whispers about his ex-girlfriends. Each word stung, planting doubts in her heart. At home, her parents questioned her mood, but Ngozi kept her relationship with Femi a secret, knowing that her father wouldn't approve. One day, Femi's ex-fling approached him by the lockers, teasing him flirtatiously. Femi tried to brush her off, but the encounter left him uneasy. He knew that if Ngozi found out, she might walk away for good, and the thought scared him. Then, everything fell apart. Ngozi discovered leaked text messages between her and Femi circulating among their classmates. The betrayal hit her like a punch to the gut. As students whispered and laughed behind her back, Ngozi stared at her phone in disbelief, her cheeks burning with humiliation. Femi knew he had messed up. Desperate to make things right, he sought out Ngozi, waiting for her in the schoolyard. When he finally handed her a delicate silver necklace as a peace offering, Ngozi hesitated. Her fingers trembled as she accepted it, unsure if she could fully trust him again. In an effort to rekindle their bond, Femi invited Ngozi to a vibrant cultural festival. They wandered through stalls filled with colorful fabrics and street food, laughing at dancers performing traditional routines. For a brief moment, it felt like nothing else mattered, just the two of them, lost in the beauty of the festival. But just as things seemed to be mending, Tonya, Femi's ex, cornered Ngozi in the school courtyard. With a smug expression, she revealed painful secrets about Femi's past, leaving Ngozi devastated. The other students watched eagerly, feeding off the drama. Weeks passed, and though Femi tried everything to reach Ngozi, she avoided him. She threw herself into prayer, trying to understand what to do. But her heart still ached for him. Femi, on the other hand, was determined not to lose her. He stayed out of trouble, studied harder, and even made an effort to meet Ngozi's parents, slowly earning their trust. One afternoon, Ngozi decided to meet Femi by the beach where they had shared so many moments. They sat side by side, watching the waves roll in. "I can't pretend I'm not hurt," Ngozi said softly. "But I think love isn't supposed to be easy." Femi's face lit up with a hopeful smile. "I'll wait as long as it takes," he promised. From that moment, they took things slow, building a relationship based on trust and forgiveness. Over time, they graduated from university, Ngozi as a social worker and Femi as a youth counselor, helping troubled teens avoid the mistakes he had made. Years later, they stood at the altar of a small church, surrounded by friends and family. Femi slid a ring onto Ngozi's finger, whispering, "I promise to be honest, even when it's hard." Ngozi smiled through tears of joy and responded, "And I promise to trust you, even when I'm scared." As they kissed, the congregation erupted into applause. Their love had been tested by secrets, betrayal, and time, but it had endured. And as they walked hand in hand into the future, they knew that, though their story wasn't perfect, it was theirs, and that was enough.